Okay, and this is in section 1.1, number 12. There was a question on that. If it's a function, that means for every x, it always goes to the same y. Well, in this one, 8 goes to 6 and x goes to 13. So this is not a function. So this is 2 goes to 5, 8 goes to 6, 14 goes to 6. So each one of these goes to the same number every time. 2 always goes to 5, 8 always goes to 6, as opposed to 8 going to 6 and 13. It only goes to 6, and 14 goes to 6. So this is a function, and this is a function. However, to be 1 to 1, if I know the y, I should be able to identify the x. Well, here, if I know the y is 6, I don't know which x to go to. So this is not 1 to 1. And this one, 5 goes to a 2, 6 goes to an 8, 13 goes to a 14. And there's no other ambiguity, so that C is 1 to 1. All right, 47 was one that had questions on. It says, evaluate f of C. Evaluate the y value at C. So if I go to C in the x and go up to the graph, I get the point named L, but the y value is T. Solve. When the y value is P, what is x? The y value is P here on the curve. We're at the point named K, but the x is A. Here it says, suppose that the y value at B is Z. So if we go to B, the y value is 0. So this means Z equals 0. Then it says find f of 0. So if I go to 0 and go to the function, the y value is r. The y value at 0 is r. And then it says, what are the coordinates of the point L? L is at C, T, and K is at A, P, A, P. That's 47. 48. I only asked you to do parts C and E. So there's Padelford Hall and Gould Hall. And there's Dave keeps track of his distance in time. The distance is in feet and the units in minutes. And the distance is 2,400 feet. Okay, so Dave leaves Padelford Hall and walks at a constant speed. It takes him 6 minutes to reach halfway. So if it takes him 6 minutes to go 1,200 feet, then he must be going at 200 feet per minute. 6 into 1,200 feet, 6 minutes into 1,200. You'd have to go 200 feet the first minute, 200 feet the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth to get to 1,200 to get halfway. Then he gets confused and stops for a minute to figure out where he is. Dave then continues to Gould Hall at twice the constant speed he had when he originally left. So now he's going to go at 400. So what's the graph going to look like? Well, if we have, this is the time, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and here's 0 distance from Padelford Hall, and here's Gould Hall at 2,400 feet from Padelford Hall. So if he goes half the distance in 6 minutes at a constant rate, the graph has got to look like this, getting up to 1,200 feet after 6 minutes. And then he stays standing at one spot for a minute. So now we're at 7 minutes. And then he goes twice as fast. So now he's going to do the rest of it. If it took 6 minutes to go the first half, it's going to take him 3 minutes to finish the trip. And so the graph is be that steep, which is twice as steep as that. This one would have a slope of 400 feet per minute. This one have 200 feet per minute. Up 200 for 1, 200 for 1, 200 for 1, 1,200 for 6. And up 1,200 for 3. Okay. Dave leaves Padelford Hall, headed to Gould Hall. At the same instant, Angela leaves Gould Hall and headed to Padelford Hall. Both walk at constant speed, but Angela walks twice as fast as Dave. Indicate a plot of the distance from Padelford versus time for both of these. Well, now we don't know. It didn't say that Dave walks his normal 200 feet per minute or anything. So we really don't know how much time it'll take him to get there. But here's the 2,400 feet at Gould Hall from Padelford, which will be at 0. So Dave walks at a constant speed and gets to the 2,400 feet after some time. It could be 12 minutes if he was going at the 200 feet per minute. It could be only 6 minutes if he's going at 400, but we don't know how fast he's going. So we'll just make the slope so that he ends up there. Now, if it takes him this long and Angela starts at Gould Hall, which is 2,400 feet from Padelford, and heads to Padelford, she's going to get closer and closer and closer. And she's going to, if she goes twice as fast, she's only going to take half the time. And so her graph will come down and meet here at half the time. If this is 12, this would be 6. If this was 24, this would be 12. This is 8, this would be 4. Half the time. So that's what the graph would look. And where they meet is when they're both that distance from Padelford Hall. Probably somewhere around 800 feet. Okay?